What's up, duelists? Now, if you guys have tuned in to the last few videos, you already know I'm preparing for nationals. I got my flight booked. I got my Airbnb. Ooh, not sorted. I need to pay the homies because they fronted for it. They fronted for the Airbnb, so I gotta pay them. Mental note for that. Someone remind me in the comments that I gotta pay my homies back for the Airbnb. Anyway, I've been testing all day in paper. Actually, I met up with a good friend and we tested in paper and we played a lot of matches. And I didn't want to test too much seriously today. I've got sort of a fun list here for you guys today. This is my Asura Priest Fairy Creature Swap deck. This deck I actually think is legit. I actually think it's kind of fire. I talked about it a little bit in the edisonformat.com Discord. Of course, if you want to join the Discords, the description below holds all of the invites to all of the Discords that you want to be a part of. Anyway, back to what I was saying. This is a list that I've sort of theorized with Creature Swap, 6 Battle Recruiters, Sangan, triple Asura Priest, and then of course the sweet legacy of Yatagarasu, crack cocaine. I mean, in a video game, you know what I'm saying. But you activate this when you Creature Swap them the Asura Priest and you straight up draw 2 cards. Oh my god, it feels so good. I almost want to play 3. It feels so good, I almost want to play 3. You got Mind Control, Brain Control, combo with the Creature Swap, you know how it is. Triple Herald of Orange Light. This card's busted as fuck, especially with the Asura Priest, because you can like summon this guy, attack, bounce him back, keep your Heralds live, even when you're on low resource situations. It's pretty good. And then of course the sideboard is pretty straightforward. Royal Decrees, because fuck Deck Devastation Virus. All my homies hate that shit, and also fuck Light Imprisoning Mirror. This list, I think it's cash money because everyone expects the other list. And when I was testing a little bit earlier, I was like, damn, everyone knows my shit. Everyone knows all my techs. Oh my god. Pardon me, folks. Pardon me. Everyone knows all my techs. Everyone knows all my fucking shit. Like, I post my lists online, of course. I show my gameplay online, of course. People know what I'm going to do. And that kind of like, it kind of defeats the purpose. You know what I mean? It kind of defeats the purpose. So, sometimes you just got to mix it up. You got to play something a little different, and it works out really well. Now, if you want to see this deck in action, you got to stick around to the end of the video. I'm going to start off with a few fun replays. Oh, not that one. This one. There we go. We got this replay. This is a replay of Arla versus War Machine MMA. I don't fucking know. Anyway, I found a few replays of other people playing fairies, so you guys can get some more objective examples. This is fairies versus Hero Frog, which is a cool matchup. You can expect to see both these decks at Nationals, of course. Fairy player goes first. Starts off with Dust Shoot Torrential. Set, pass. I'm assuming, yep, there's the Dust Shoot. Takes the Substitute. This is not a good take here. This is a bad take here because he has 1-for-1. So it's like, I don't really see the point in that. Usually here you want to take like either Dark Armed or Evil Hero Malicious Edge. Just take the payoff. You don't really care about this card because you have Torrential. You have it all. I mean, well, Torrential is a FTK versus Frogs anyway, but yeah. So he takes a Substitute. Here goes Swap Frog. Swap Frog send. Notice Arla. Very, very kind fairy player. Says good luck. Wishes his opponent good luck. Swap Frog sends a Treeborn, attacks for 1,000, passes a turn. No, goes for 1-for-1 after. Interesting. Okay, interesting. There's the Torrential Tribute, even though Substitute does have priority to activate there. But he's going to Torrential on the Swap Frog thing, and then yeah. Treeborn's in the grave. Evil Hero Malicious guy is in the place, but there's no Substitute, so he's not going to get dupe locked, which I guess is... I still don't get it. I probably would have taken one of these monsters, but that's just me. Here comes Honest, attack directly. I'm assuming, yep, there it is. 1100, bounce the Honest, pass the turn. Picks up Future Fusion. Here comes Treeborn. Activate Future, I'm assuming. Send Bubble Man plus Substitute. Pass the turn. Now, this is an interesting moment because, like, why would you do that? Like, you don't need to activate the Future Fusion now. You're just cutting off your own Treeborn Frog. I don't know. Anyway, Honest kills the Treeborn. I don't really like activating the Future Fusion here from War Machine MMA. I think it's a bad play, but hey, that's just me. Picks up Ryza, get fucked. Passes the turn. Here comes Honest, attack directly again. Freed the draw. Always awkward to draw Soul plus Freed in your opener. There's the bottom list for the Absolute Zero, and now the Treeborn Frog can come out, but not much to do with it here. Not much to do. Can't summon the Malicious Edge, can't summon the Ryza, can't really summon the Dupe Frog. I mean, he probably does summon the Dupe Frog, I'm assuming. Yep, sets it. Anyway, I mean, you know, it's a frog deck. What do you expect? I don't really know what you do here as a fairy player. You're kind of in a tough spot. I think what you need to do is something kind of weird. You probably set Freed, set Mirror Force. That's what I would do, at least. I would set Freed, set Mirror Force. Let's see what he does. He summons Freed, attacks Treeborn, sets Mirror Force. Same thing. I like the play, but this way you expose yourself to enemy controller if he top decks it. But that being said, I think it's still a solid play here. Treeborn comes back. Here comes Storm. Mirror Force not chainable. Gets sent to the grave. I've since cut Mirror Force from my list, but I actually think it's still good. I might go back to it. I'm not really sure. I'm still like, man, that's the issue, right? Everybody knows my shit. Everybody knows my list. So like when I'm testing, it's never objective because they can just pull up a YouTube video with my cards in it, and you know what I mean? Or they've seen it in a YouTube video, so they're familiar with it. I have to be trying a different list every single time, and it's really hard for me to get like consistent testing when I'm switching my list literally every match I'm playing, and switching my sideboard plans too. So yeah, it's just hard to get consistent testing. I just need to get like a play group that's like down to play like more consistently. It's just kind of hard to find right now, especially when I'm trying to make vids and shit every day. Ryza is going to target the Freed, but that's going to get heralded. I'm assuming pitching Christia, right? No, wait. No, pitch Honest. Next turn you can special soul double sack for Christia. No, he pitches soul. Wow. That's wrong. that's wrong for sure. Yeah, because you know the hand is Dark Arm, Malicious Edge. You just go special soul sack for Christia, attack over, and he can't win. But maybe that happens anyway. I don't fucking know. 300 damage, picks up Caius. Now Caius is good here, but it's not great. He's good. Hits the Shining Angel. Wow, the disrespect. He knows about the Honest. Is he going to attack into it? He is. Wow. That's pretty crazy. Alright. Surprised he didn't set the return there either, but because he wants the Freed to be live. DD Warrior Lady is a great draw. Not only does it pump up the return, but it gets rid of the stupid Doofrog in the way. Freed attacks directly, sets a return. Here comes Treeborn. There's Upstart, finds Swap Frog. You can sack from Malicious Boy. You can sack over this, but at this point it's too little too late. I mean, he just returns double sacks for Christia, I'm assuming. Is that what happens? It is. We got there. Even though we kind of messed up the original plan, it still got there. One of these days. Says Swap Frog, can't play any of his shit. Summon Shining Angel, attack. Drops him to 800. Now brain control's off the table. Looks like his opponent stalled for a good amount of time there. A minute and a half. That's not too long, I guess. Maybe he was just AFK for a reason. 1400 is dealt. Goes to the next game. This game, Frog player gets to go first. Let's see what happens. Now, see, he boarded in the Soul Release. I don't think Soul Release is that good. I'm kind of off it. He left in the Space Typhoon too. I'm also off doing this against Frogs. I think it's a fucking mistake. This card doesn't do shit versus Frogs. Here's Rhoda for Stratos. Grab Evil Guy. And set. And then Dust Shoot. Dust Shoot's going to take the Angel. And yeah, it looks like the Fairy player can't play because broken Dust Shoot. And then he has a couple of shitty cards in his hand that he probably shouldn't be boarding. Sets the Typhoon, passes. Sets Treeborn, passes after attacking. Yeah, no, this looks like... Wait a second. This still doesn't work, though. Because he doesn't have the right ops, you know. He's going to have to crash 4 times, then he's just dead to a Caius here. Which is unlucky. He gets a DD Warrior Lady, attacks the set monster. Banishes it, specials a Christia, adds back Shining Angel, sets Call the Haunted. But here's that Caius, and this is going to be too hard to come back from, I think. Call back Shining Angel. He doesn't attack. Wow. Weird. Huh. I'm actually kind of shocked. I mean, this Soul Exchange is about to go brazy, so. Yeah, there it is. That's tough. That's tough. Probably kicking yourself for that Space Typhoon right about now. Brain Control can trade, though. It's not too bad. I want to consider crashing the Angel first. Get yourself up to 4. Specials the Evil Guy in defense has to be in attack mode. There's a second Ryza. That's going to run over the Raikou, or stack the Raikou one more time. Here comes Swap Frog, bounce the Ryza at some point. Sack for Ryza, target the monster, go for game. Gang shit, he activated 5 Monarchs. The Fairy player had a bunch of bricks. But this game, Fairy player's got the sauce. Mask of Restrict, that's the GG, no re. Game can resume. He says, say sorry, bro. Why did he say sorry, bro? Did he take a long time? What happened? I missed something? Oh my god, he did. That last turn took fucking 4 minutes? Gross. That's tilting. Anyway, Allure of Darkness. Substitute activates. Whatever. Swap Frog sends Treeborn. Oh, he's got the Typhoon. He's got the Storm. He can definitely play through the Mask. Here comes Gore's, though. So it's like he can play through the Mask, but he's got pressure. Oh, no. I guess he's still got Typhoon. But then he's got Herald. This looks Jover. He's going to go Mask, Storm. There's a Solemn. Typhoon, the Mask. Then he goes sack for Ryza. Target the Gores. Here comes Herald. Pitch. Pitch Bubbleman. Special swap. Send Treeborn. Crash with the token, but now you're staring down Gores. And Call the Haunted on Dialk is game. Crazy opening from the Fairy player. I feel like Gores is really good in this matchup too. But yeah. Solid stuff. Fairies takes down Frogs. I'm not sure if there was different ways to play this because I was kind of distracted. All right, the next game I'm going to show you is one of my testing games versus Argo from the Discord. I'm going to show you my hand. I'm going to walk you through the situation that went down. All right, this game, I drew a really beautiful opening hand of Soul of Purity and Light, Herald of Orange Light, Archlord Christia, Double Book of Moon versus Blackwings. As you can see, this hand doesn't do fucking anything. So, yeah, I might be like 0 Christia gang after this because I was so tilted. I pick up DD Warrior Lady. I'm like, that's pretty good. I can just shove it into the Shura. Of course, I lose the die roll too because, like, you know, if you win the die roll, then it's like, you know, it would be nice to win the die roll, but I would never win the die roll. That's the thing. I banish both. This plays around the Icarus, which I think is set, but he's got Storm set. I just pass because why the fuck would you set anything here? He didn't have Whirlwind last turn, so yeah. I pick up Return. I think I just pass again. Yeah, he just draws passes again after alluring. Or he doesn't pass again. I think he sets one more. Yeah, we draw a second Christia, and I'm like, all right. No, it's cool. I didn't want to draw a monster. You know, I didn't want to draw something to attack with in my 26 monster deck. It's cool. I set the Return now because I'm just like, what the fuck else am I doing? He goes Bora, summon, attack. I'm like, that's lovely. I'm going to die to a lone Bora. I pick up Trag, and I'm like, turn too late. Would have been insane last turn, but hey, here we are. We got to play through Deep Prison, Icarus, Heavy Storm, and we have fuck all. So I go Return, bring back the DD Warrior Lady. I'm just trying to attack into this to bait something. He goes Deep Prison, I chain Book. I just want to try and play through these back row somehow before I drop my Trag. Now, I'm probably just dead here to like double Kalute, which I'm assuming he has, but he doesn't. He's just like 80 million back row. But yeah, I set my Book of Moon. He passes. I flip the Warrior Lady. I try to attack with it again. He goes Icarus, target both my cards. I set Shining Angel and I pass. He sets the back row and passes. It's another Deep Prison. I flip my Shining Angel. I try to attack. And then he has a Deep Prison. And I'm like, that is fucking crazy. I drew double Herald. I could have done some crazy shit. I don't know. But yeah, maybe I shouldn't have attacked with my Angel. I just felt like I have to start dealing damage. And if it's Mirror Force, that's fine. It's literally just Mirror Force or Deep Prison that punishes me here. Everything else, like, I get the damage in and I'm killing it. Another thing I could have done was summon Herald, synchro off, and then banish both for Soul, and then hit for 48 and put him on a 2-turn clock. But that's pretty bad into, like, Icarus attack. It's pretty bad into just about fucking anything. So, I don't know. I didn't really like my situation. I felt like attacking with Shining Angel was fine. It gives me the strongest Trag. It doesn't burn my whole hand, my double Herald. But in hindsight, I probably should have just gotten really aggressive because this deck doesn't normally play Torrential. So, yeah. Deep Prison's Shining Angel, passes the turn. I draw my third fucking Christia. And yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about. I drew triple Christia, double Herald, Soul fucking Tragodia, and I have no way to proc it. So I'm just like M-phase discarding a Christia so I can set it for my Soul next turn, which is embarrassing. He just sets another back row. I pick up Card Trooper. I banish, summon Soul. This eats a Bottomless. I normal summon Card Trooper. I mill 3. I hit 1 Fairy. So my Christia isn't live, even if I do fucking Herald, which is awesome. I hit for 19. He summons Sirocco. I'm like, that's fine. I can maybe Tragodia. He specials Gale. He halves my Trooper. I basically have to let this resolve with hopes that he won't pump. Or if he does pump, then I can Herald negate, and then he'll attack, and I'll drop Trag. My Trag will be weak, but at least I will have destroyed his 2 monsters and played around Icarus. I take damage here. I draw my Trag. I draw a new card. My Trag's 3,000. I have only 1 card in play, so Icarus isn't that bad. He sacks, or he goes into Dark End, forces the Herald. And again, because we milled only 1 Fairy, we aren't able to drop Christia here, so we just lose. If we had milled another Fairy, I mean, we would have just been crushing. There's a couple of things I could have done here. I could have summoned the Herald of Orange and then synchroed off with the Trag and then special to Christia and added something back. But let's say he has something like Brain Control or some shit. Like, I just lose. And there's a good chance he has Brain Control. He doesn't. And he didn't set his Solemn Judgment for no fucking reason. He really wanted to punt this game. I should have just made, I guess he did it because he has Heavy Storm set, but I obviously don't have any back row. I haven't played any back row, like, the whole game, pretty much. I should have just synchroed and gone for it, but, like, I'm trying to play around too much, and so I lose. I get too scared, and then, yeah, as a result, your boy gets owned. Here I just pass. He goes Dark Eruption, I back Gale, and that kills me with the Sidra. So, yeah, here we are. And the Kalut he top decks as well. So, tough stuff. Tough stuff. That game one, I definitely could have played it differently. I also could have drawn a bit luckier, but that's just how it goes sometimes. I summon Thunder King. I set Dust. I pass. End-phase Dust is shit. Draw for turn is Book of Moon. I'm like, I'm just killing it. DD Warrior Lady. Send it to the grave. I literally don't care. Attack for 19. If he had Sirocco, he would have played it last turn. He storms. I book the Warrior Lady in case he has brain control. He summons Sirocco off the top, apparently. I wonder if that was off the top. Anyway, he sets 2 and then passes. He has the deck dev, which is brutal, but he allows me to flip Warrior Lady and attack. And for some fucking reason, he deprisons instead of deck deving. Bro, if you just deck dev, I lose my whole fucking shit. So I don't really understand why he, like, wasted his deprison like that. He could have deck dev'd, killed all my fucking shit, and then deprisoned this guy, and he would have been fine. But instead, he's, like, stuck here, like, getting absolutely blown the fuck out by Honest. And so, yeah, he gets owned, like, really, really hard. He sets Snowman Eater, so this guy has, like, every tech in the book for fairies, which is, like, deprisons, plus deck devs, plus Snowman Eaters, plus fucking ratio and shit. But, you know, I attack with the Shining Angel, and he pops my Shining Angel despite having deck dev. Like, just pop the Ryo, bro. Pop the card you can't out with the card that you have. This is why testing is cursed sometimes. Anyway, I just pass. I don't set this because I want my Gores to, whatever. He asked if Ryo negates value, and I'm like, bruh, I just wanted to test. Like, don't spend my time looking up a ruling. He was, like, trying to look it up. I could tell him, but I'm like, come on, man. Come on, you should know this shit. You should know this shit this deep in the game. He makes the armed wing and he attacks. We take 400 here, and then, yeah, he passes the turn back. I get deck dev'd here for 0, which is fucking owned. This is, like, why I hate deck dev, too, because it's, like, they just gamba. They just fucking gamba every single time. They just fucking gamba. And, like, literally half the time, they just self-own. Literally half the time, they just self-own. It's just gamba. It, like, this is why, another reason I don't want to play fairies in the tournament is because, like, I know I could lose to deck dev, but I don't feel good. Like, I don't feel good when I lose when my opponent misses deck dev, or if they hit deck dev and I lose. Neither way do I feel good about that. I don't feel like I outplayed my opponent anyway. Like, he just took, like, a 50-50, roughly, with deck dev, and he just missed on it. And he also, like, misplayed a bunch of times before this, but, like, at the same time, like, I don't know. Maybe he should have just shotgunned it when he had the stroke. I don't fucking know. Anyway, Cyber Dragon attacks over Snowman Eater. I set book, I set call, I pass. I leave Call in versus Black Wings to play around deck dev specifically. Here comes Sirocco, and he just passes. I pick up a compulsory, so now it's just been a +2 deck dev, and yeah, we just call back Shining Angel, crash a bunch of times to get all the angels out of my deck for the deck dev, and to get the Call of the Haunted out of play for my Gores. And the Shining Angel crashes a couple more times. I get a DD Warrior Lady. I get a Connect for 21, and then I have compulsory for the normal summon. Then the next 21 is lethal. And then if he tries to out my Cyber Dragon, I can compulse that and, like, book his normal summon and go from there. But for the most part, I just win here because he summons. I compulse it. He didn't shuffle his hand, so I know that's what he drew for turn. And then he passes the game. He says big misplay summon Sirocco there. I don't know if that was a big misplay. I think the deck dev shit was a big misplay. Anyway, this game we open up pretty nice, but we're going second, so it doesn't matter because we get dust shooted, and you know how it goes. Yeah, he just has perfect information, and it makes it really hard to play. I probably should have done this a little bit differently. I probably should have just set Dust Tornado and not set the Torrential Tribute, because then maybe I could have baited him into doing some shit, or not doing some shit, and then, yeah, I don't know. But I set both. I just make the obvious plays, even though I probably shouldn't. He attacks for 1700. I didn't summon the Cyber Dragon either, because if he has Royal Oppression, I want to be able to Dust Tornado it. He has Light Mirror, so I don't know why I was playing around Royal Oppression. They usually side it out anyway. End phase, I dust the new one, so I don't even stick to my own fucking game plan. But it's because he has 2 back row, and I think the new back row is for sure Icarus, so I want to hit that for sure because I have Torrential, and I need this Torrential to stick around. I draw Dimensional Alchemist. I go ahead and summon Cyber Dragon. I attack the set monster. It's Snowman Eater, and it BTFOs me. And then main phase 2, I don't summon D-Alch, even though I probably should have just to try and blind hit. This is one of those circumstances where, like, I had been playing D-Alch earlier in the day, and I was, like, blind missing a lot. But in hindsight, I should have summoned it and just and just banish blind. He would have activated his light mirror, which would have been fine, but like we have Arnos to protect it. We have bottomless torrential. We could have stabilized this game. Instead, we end up taking too much damage. So I misplayed this game pretty hard. He sets deck dev. So yeah, this is one of the games that I was talking about where we get fucking dust shoot deck dev, whirlwinded. I summon Shining Angel. I attack. He goes light mirror. We're forced to honest basically. He takes 14. I set bottomless pass. He summons Blizzy, brings back the Bora, and I make the worst play I've ever made in my fucking life. I don't torrential. I should have just torrentialed there, because I know if he goes Armed Wing and has deck dev, I get owned. But I'm like, if he goes like Raonic or some shit, I can bottomless it, and then I can really turn it up and deal 27. But these don't even fucking matter, because I'm playing them into my own torrential anyway, so I just should have torrentialed there. Not let him get a monster with 2,000 or higher attack for his deck dev, and then I would have been fine this game. But in reality, he has the deck dev, of course. He has Light Mirror deck dev, Snowman Eater, draws that with the Dust Shoot, and it's just like crushing. Like, it's just too much for the fairy deck to deal with. Even though I side down on the targets, it still hits our last target. He summons Dark Arm, trades with the Torrential. It's always going to trade with the Torrential. We draw Shining Angel, it gets discarded. We draw Gore's, doesn't get discarded, but he fucking knows about it, so it makes it infinitely worse. We draw Call of the Haunted, which is pretty good. I mean, it can bring back Cyber Dragon. Maybe that can win us the game. Like I said, I like siding it in versus deck dev. I don't set it here because I need my Gores to be live. He sets a back row passes. We draw DD Warrior Lady. I'm like, what the fuck do I do with this? It's negated by Light Mirror. I sided in 18 million Dust Tornadoes, but I like just burn one for no reason. Which I had to do, honestly, because if it was Icarus, maybe I didn't have to do it. Maybe I should have just waited. I should have been more patient or some shit, but like, I don't know. I feel like I could have waited on the Dust Tornado. I feel like I could have been a lot smarter about my torrential in this game. And as a result, I get fucking owned, and that's what happens. And yeah, this was like, I think one of my last games of the day after like a long day of testing, and it like got me so tilted, I just decided to load up the creature swap deck. And then for good measure, he ends it with the Black Whirlwind. So yeah, we fall apart here. We draw our one Herald of Orange Light that we leave in versus Black Wings as a target. And yeah, there's a Kalut. We draw Dust Tornado, but nothing we can do into this Icarus attack. There's just nothing we can do. Set 2, set the monster, pass. He sets end phase, we call the Gores. And here, I think I make a 5-hit play where I flip the DD Warrior Lady. He bottomlesses it. I'm like, alright, he didn't bottomless the Gores, so that means he has deprison, right? Because, like, what else would it be? He's been deprisoning me the whole fucking match, right? And none have gotten used. So I summon the DD Warrior Lady, and then I make another game-losing... I made, like, 3 game-losing misplays. I read that it's a deprison. It's not, it's Typhoon. I Dust Tornado it. I Dust Tornado his old back row, and then he chains it, or not his old back row, his new back row, and he chains it to Call of the Haunted. I'm like, fuck, I didn't even think about Space Typhoon. And that ends up costing me, because if I save this Dust Tornado for the Light Mirror, there's a chance I stabilize with DD Warrior Lady. Probably not, because like Kalut's enough to kill me, but there's a chance, you know? There's a chance. So, yeah, we lose the Gores here, 2 for 1. I misplayed this game like crazy. A lot to learn this game. He does have brain control for game regardless, but... yeah, that was a tough one. That was a tough one. He played all his best cards. I'll say it. He played all his best cards. He played Brain Control, Whirlwind, Dark Arm, Allure, Deck Dev, Trap Dust Shoot, Snowman Eater, and multiple Icarus attacks resolved. And we fought through all of that with, like, honestly, not that much shit. I just played it poorly, and I lost because of it. And, you know, that's sometimes you got to reflect on these matches, you know? And this is why I'm testing. Again, this is why I'm testing. And I'm putting this stuff out there for you guys. Obviously, like... hopefully you guys can learn from these resources. Hopefully this makes you play a little bit better. Hopefully you don't have to end up making the same mistakes I do, and you guys can play a little bit more tightly than I can. Hopefully I don't play like this in the tournament, because I'm gonna leave Raleigh. I'm gonna fucking fly home early if I play like this in the tournament. But that's why we test, of course. Next match is a match Roundup versus 4Chet83. This is an interesting match. I caught the end of it live, so I'm gonna show it to you guys. I thought it was pretty cool. I like watching Raonic play. I had a video against him yesterday. He is playing a Machina version of his Frog deck. Now, I have a version of this with Machinas as well, but it doesn't play the Frogs. And a video on that's going to go up after I show the profile of Raunic's deck, because I want Raunic's deck to go up first, and then I want to show you the version without Frogs that I worked on with... I worked on it with Simo, actually. We worked on the... It's like a variation of Raunic's deck that has... Ancient Gears, and it has Lads, and it has Machinas, but it doesn't play the Frog stuff. Anyway, Fairy player goes first. He sets like this, which basically tells me he's going to lose this game. it just tells me he's going to lose this game. First off, I don't really like Deep Prison in this deck. Deep Prison is always going to be a good card in your deck, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe I should be playing Deep Prisons. Maybe that's why I'm like losing games that I'm like misplaying 80 million times. Deep Prison helps you. It's a little bit more forgiving about misplays because it's never really that bad of a card. Like if you're just resolving it ever, like even if you're resolving it on the wrong thing, like it's never that bad. But at the same time, it doesn't really get your stuff going. You see what I'm saying? Like this hand, the Deep Prison's not getting it going. The Mirror Force not getting it going, but it does buy you some time. So we'll see. Anyway, it's going to look pretty bad in the face of this Ancient Gear Gajiltron Dragon. Here comes Machina Gear Frame. He Herald of Orange lights that. I don't really fucking know why you would ever Herald of Orange light this. You have Deep Prison. You have Mirror Force. You do not care about this. What's he going to do? Search a Fortress, pitch, summon it. You Deep Prison that. You're fine. You don't care about that. Anyway, he reveals the Dust Shoot, but that's just going to get used here. Yeah, so that was terrible Herald of Orange light usage. That's just like one of those things where you see it and you like shotgun it and you think you're 5 head, but you're not. Here comes this, I believe, Ancient Gear. No, he goes for Lad first. Wow. I like it. So this is a bad play from Forchet. This is how you don't play into Light and Darkness Dragon. Raonic talked about this. He'll talk about this in the deck profile that he recorded with me. Basically, Lad can only negate once per chain. So it declares an attack. You can go Mirror Force, Chain, Deep Prison. So it'll go Mirror Force, Chain Link 1, Light and Darkness, Chain Link 2, Deep Prison, Chain Link 3. Deep Prison will resolve, banishing the Light and Darkness Dragon. Forchet here just not knowing how Light and Darkness Dragon works, pretty much. Passes the turn, sets double book, passes the turn. I'm assuming he just burns the books one at a time here. Yep. Draws Spirit Reaper. Not a good card in fairies. Sets it, passes. Spirit Reaper's bad. It's like worse than Marshmallow. Pretty much. Brain Control, not going to do anything. Yeah, he's just going to kill the Spirit Reaper. Set, Heavy Storm. Yeah, and then just win with the Fortress and the guy. Clinical stuff from Roundup. Forchet saying go, which is like kind of rude considering how how interestingly he played the first game. You should pay some fucking respect to my GOAT Roundup. All I'm saying is if you get the fucking pleasure to play against Roundup, if he graces you with his time, show him some goddamn respect. Because look at this shit. He's got Offerings to the motherfucking Doomed in his deck. This is my guy right here. Alright? I don't care what deck you're playing. You gotta pay some respect to the boy. Alright. Anyway, starts off with Thunder King. Sets in the far left column. It's on some cursed fucking infinite impermanence bullshit. Here comes Set Space Typhoon, pass the turn. Of course, that Gore's is Giga Chad. Summons the Herald of Orange Light. What the fuck is this? I had to mute my mic. This is like how not to play 101. No disrespect to Forchet, but you're gonna rush my boy Raonic. I'ma say it like it is, man. You playing like shit. Anyway, he synchros into Raonic. To be fair, I play like shit in a lot of my replays as well. I'm not better than anyone. Raonic, activate. What the fuck is this? We just going -2 into a fucking chainable Space Typhoon? Like what? I'm gonna be honest, guys. I'm gonna be honest, guys. This is a painful experience. There's always people like this. Who are like, I don't know how you think Fairies is a good deck. And I'm like, yeah, because you're making plays like this, bro. You're just throwing away threw away +1. Threw away your fucking negate terraforming shit. Threw away your +1. Throw away your fucking out into fucking Gores. Man, it's so bad. Oh, it's so fucking bad. Like, I watch other people's replays because I'm trying to learn some shit, but all I'm learning is that, like, I'm bad, but I'm not this bad. Holy fucking shit. Anyway, Gore's hits play, passes the turn. Here comes Gore's attacks. D-Prison, sack for Caius, banish your shit. Wow, now you have 2 cards to 5 because you threw away 3 of them to out-of-set Space Typhoon to deal 2,300 damage. What the fuck was the point of that? Here comes Call, bring back Thunder King, attack for 19. But who asked? You know what I mean? Who asked? You should just wait for a terraforming. At least get a +1 out of this call. Like, dealing the 1900 isn't fucking getting you anywhere. He has 6 cards in his hand. You think he can't answer a Thunder King? Anyway, he just sets some cards and passes. There's an Honest. Does he summon it? That'd be so funny. Imagine he summoned it there. There's going to be no Tretch activation. Picks up Substitute. I'm surprised he didn't Tretch there, actually. I guess he can always Typhoon in that. But, like, why set the Tretch then, you know? Anyway, Honest is going to be a hurdle because he's now at 38. But, again, if he just pops this, he's fine, you know? He sets the Space Typhoon now. There's the Reaper. Okay, he's going to attack. There's a Substitute. Take 100. Pass the turn. Picks up Soul Exchange. Ooh, Raunic's cooking, low-key. This shit is fire. Space Typhoon, the other back row. Treacherous, the 2 monsters. Go ahead and bring back Treeborn. Summon the guy. Attack for 1,000. Sack going to dupe lock. Yep, soft dupe lock. Pass the turn. He gets another free dupe frog here off his fucking Treeborn. He picked up Light and Darkness, so the game's over. Brings out Treeborn. Substitute sack for swap. Sends Substitute. Sack that for dupe. He can now Soul Exchange. Sacrifice his opponent's monster. And tribute summon Light and Darkness. Why would you ever set the Honest here? Why would you burn the Bottomless too? Why would you do any of this shit? That's the real question. Why would you give him a fucking Monarch target? Oh my god. This was like one of the most tilting experiences. This guy had every card in the world to win this game, and he threw them all away. All of them got thrown away. Embarrassing display. And that's what you get for rushing Raonic. You get absolutely fucking body bagged on camera. Raonic could have maximum disrespected here. He could have fucking offering to the Doomed his own shit. He could have Swap Frog, bounce his own Light and Darkness, retribute summon it. He could have done a bunch of shit and he still would have won. And you know what? He just closes it out like a Chad. Opponent tries to summon Gorge with a card in play. My brother in Christ, this might not be the format for you, I'm going to be honest. And then Raonic hits him with the GG and then leaves. Based. Giga Chad Raonic frog player. That's all I'm saying. There are no frog players like Raonic. I'll say it once. No one does it like him. Alright, next match is me. Finally, what you guys have been sticking around for, the stupid fucking creature swap bullshit, is me versus Gbit. I open up with the lose the rock, paper, scissors classic because I never go first. I was testing today. I think I went first in exactly 0 matches. Anyway, Upstart Goblin from the opponent. And they have a pretty good hand, you know, if they could ever turn it on somehow. But instead, he draws Gravekeeper Descendant with his Upstart Goblin. And that's honestly deserved because if you play these 2 cards together, one of them should feed into the other one. That's honestly deserved. He sets the Descendant, passes a turn. I attack that shit with Dimensional Alchemist. Look at that, classic. Mill the Heavy Storm. Yeah, who wanted to draw that? I never want to draw that card, actually. I only ever want to mill it. I banish it. I draw for turn. Watch me activate this Dimensional Alchemist again. Watch this. This is a fucking skill, by the way. My deck has how many monsters? 25. 25 monsters. Oh, another limited spell. It's a fucking skill. Summon Asura Priest. 3,500 damage. Big damage. I summon Asura Priest because I have 2, and I don't mind playing it in the sweeper instead of risking Nova, which is the high value target here. He Sarks for Monk, so now I know what he's about. He's on some Rescue Cat shit. Watch this shit. Alchemist. Activate. Oh my god, he's fucking 3 for 3, ladies and gentlemen. How do I do it? How am I this good? Alright, summon Asura Priest. Deal another 35. He's dead to Honest. He's dead to Herald. You can't win this game. This is where you never want to be against fairies. You never want to be down life against fairies. Ever. Or down tempo, because that's when you're just done. That's when you're just cooked. If you're down life, down tempo against fairies, you can never come back. They will herald your shit or they will honest you for game every single time. This is the worst place to be. He goes Brain Control, and I literally don't even care. He sacks for Caius, I literally don't even care. Have your fucking resolve, Caius. I'm going to kill you under your own decree. Here comes my normal summon, Asura Priest. I attack, and he admits defeat before even seeing the Honest because he knows what the fuck is up. He hits me with the GG. I respect it. I don't think it was a GG. I think you got pretty unlucky, but this game looks like it's going to be a little bit better. He opened Mind, Brain, Heavy Storm, Monk. You literally cannot stack a better hand in the Rescue Cat deck. This is your best 4 possible cards in your hand right here. This is the best possible. You cannot stack a better hand. And yet, we will dismantle him with only 2 cards. Guess which 2 cards? You guessed right, ladies and gentlemen. Legacy and Sangan. Watch this shit. He goes draw Descendant, deserved. Set, Raikou, pass. We go set Legacy, set Sang, and pass. So I know he has Descendant, right? So I can't attack into it in case it's Spy. That's issue number 1. And issue number 2 is I can't summon Thunder King, because if it's Spy, he'll just flip it, and then he'll pop it with Descendant, and then he'll make whatever, Arcanite or whatever. So I just need to set my cards that are chainable, and I hope to hit Herald of Orange Light off the... Or hope he pops it, and then I can grab Herald, and then negate whatever he goes for. He goes Typhoon on the Legacy. We draw a card. He flips Raikou. He targets my monster. He blows it up. We search Herald. He slams the Monk before we even resolve our Sangan because he's so excited. He's so excited to play his nut hand, but I'm just like, I'm grabbing Herald every day of the fucking week. Every day of the fucking week. And he says, fuck it, I'm playing into Herald anyway. Pitches the Mind Control. We Herald of Orange Light, and he says, fuck it, I'm attacking for 200, and then I'm leaving. I gotta respect it. I gotta respect it, Gbit. You fought valiantly, but you couldn't beat my garbage-ass deck. And then the last match I want to show you guys today, of course, is with the same deck versus Caius 004, who is someone who he has an Edison-specific username. You'd think he'd be really, really familiar with the format. Anyway, I'll show you guys what's up. This is how not to play the format 201. The 101 was the player against Roundup. 201 is this guy against me right now. He's playing frogs, whatever. I'm playing Giga Chad creature swap garbage. I set Legacy, I pass. He goes ahead and brings out the swap frog and then sends Treeborn Frog, and he doesn't bounce his swap frog. So I'm like, okay, he has Trag, right? He attacks me for 1,000. I'm like, he has Trag, right? He has Trag, right? I summon Honest, I attack. I'm like, maybe I'll creature swap this, and then I'll take his pitch the Nova Summoner, steal my own Honest back, bounce it, go for some 5-head play shit. But no, he doesn't have Trag, so I'm just like, why would you leave the swap frog in play? Just bounce it. I bounce the Honest, pass the turn, he brings out Treeborn. I'm like, alright. He sacks for Thestal, so I'm like, fuck. I shouldn't have Legacied here. I should have let him go for the Heavy Storm, but I actually wanted to conceal my Nova Summoner as much as possible, because if he hits that, it's really bad for me. He ends up hitting it, but I draw another one, so I'm like goated with the sauce. He attacks for 24. I think I draw Solemn Judgment, and then I win. Like, this is just fucking crazy, right? I go summon guy, creature swap guy, attack guy, search other guy, and then set 3. I set the Heavy Storm first to bluff Space Typhoon shit. He brings out Treeborn, sacks for Caius. I just saw him this shit because I don't want to deal with it. He sets 1, passes. I'm like, what does that deck set? Whatever, I'm attacking anyway. I just attack with both. I pick up my next Solemn, or my next Negate, which is Herald. So I'm just winning next turn. I hit for 24. He switches me to defense, which messes up my lethal for next turn. But if I draw a monster, I win. He brings out Treeborn. He goes Dark Dust, but we have the second Negate in Herald of Orange Light, which is just goated. We draw Herald of Orange, which is perfect because it's exact lethal. Look at that shit, 4100. I'm the creature swap GOAT. Don't ever say I talk shit about this card because I am the best player to ever touch creature swap. I'm the best player to ever utilize this card. And that's just facts. Nobody has ever done creature swap better than me. I'll say that much. When I play it, I make it look like the best card in the format. That's it. That's how it's done. That's how it's done, folks. Next game, I go second, but I draw double Crow, so I'm just living. I'm just like, there goes the Treeborns, and I just win. He forgets to draw for turn, but I remind him. He draws again. He sets 2 and passes. Never set Space Typhoon and Frogs. I know my opponent left his Swap Frog in play, so I know his back row is Space Typhoon, so I never set a trap card this entire game. I banish his shit because I don't want him to get the guy. He draws the guy anyway. I'm like, damn, that sucks. Sends Treeborn, attacks for 1,000, doesn't bounce this guy. But you know what? That's okay. That's okay. We just pass. He sacks for Thesty. Perfect case scenario for us so we can herald it and not be under any pressure. He passes back. We draw another trap. I know that's a Space Typhoon. I'm not giving you your Treeborn, buddy. I'm not giving it to you. Pass the turn. He summons Subsitoad. He sacks. He goes into swap. He doesn't even send the other Treeborn. He sends another Subsitoad, which is kind of weird. But I get it, I guess. He attacks for 1,000, leaves the swap. We draw Gores, which is amazing. Especially if he goes for like Thesty, which he does. And he hits Mirror Force, which is perfect because I was never setting that shit. And then I drop Gores, and then I win. GG. That's it. Attack. Play around Mirror Force. In case it's Mirror Force. He drops Trag. But who cares? I got Compulse. He goes Space Typhoon in the main phase. He doesn't want his Treeborn back. He just doesn't want it. He doesn't want to use his enemy control. He doesn't want to do any of this shit. Anyway, we chain Legacy. Another person getting owned by Legacy. This card might be heat. It might be heat. Because like the more I play with it, I'm like, damn, these players just play into it every single time. And this is mostly Dueling Book randoms playing into it. But like, you know, sometimes good players will play into this shit too because they kind of have to, you know. We draw a Seraph Priest. I'm like, that's goated. run over the guy, attack with the Sura because I thought it was a second Treeborn because he didn't send it, but no, I just don't have the reads like that. It's Substitute, we take 300, we run it over. He tries to bring it back, but I'm like, no, that's not a frog, that's a toad, motherfucker. Anyway, I trap Dust Shoot, look at his hand, take the Ryza. He brings out Treeborn. Nah, psych, DD Crow. Sets monster, sets the back row, passes. We pick up a Herald of Orange, which is goated with the Sir Priest, as you can see. And yeah, it's just clinical, man. It's just fucking clinical. I think this deck is heat. I mean, obviously my opponents played pretty bad, but what can you do? What can you do? Asura with Herald of Orange is really goated. It's actually so sick. I actually really like Asura Priest. It's like one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite cards all time. And the fact that I get to play in the deck is really sick. It's definitely one of my favorite cards all time. There's like a lot of sick stuff you can do with Asura Priest. And like Honest. Where's the Honest? It's not here. But like Asura Priest Honest is like reversal OTK material. There's a lot of cool shit you can do with this card. Creature swap. Legacy, of course, is sick. Using it with Herald if it's like your last fairy is really sick. Using it to run over battle recruiters. So you can just keep attacking recruiters with this guy. Like, let's say you attack a Mystic Tomato, they summon another one, you can attack that shit too. You just keep going. You can just keep going with the Sir Priest. It's just a really good card. I think it's a really good card. I mean, not good in the sense that, like, it's so good it should be standard. But I think it's good in that it has a lot of unique utility that only this card has, which is tight. And that's why I like it. And I love the art. The art is like, this guy's a Chad. He goes Battle Fader. I flex on him with the Herald of Orange Light. And that's how you got to do it. I wish I could play 6 Herald of Orange Light. This card is busted as fuck. I hope you guys like this video. It's a little bit of a quicker one, but I spent all day playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And I don't want to spend any more days. Or not days. Spend any more of this day playing Yu-Gi-Oh! So, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.